Welcome to a deep dive, created just for you. Today, we've got just one source material we're digging into. It's a review, actually, of a very, very specific coffee product.
That's right.
And our mission really is to look beyond just the surface-level review and figure out what makes this coffee and its whole journey, from the farm to the cup, so unique. We're going to pull out the most important bits just for you.
Yeah, and this review, it's like a treasure map if you read it closely. It's not just, oh, this coffee is nice. It gives you the precise farm, a really quite rare variety, a processing method that's pretty cutting edge, even how the specific roaster approaches it.
Right.
And when you piece all that together, you get, well, a much richer picture of what you're actually tasting.
Absolutely. I mean, just the flavor notes they mention.
Mm-hmm.
Things like bergamot, okay, pineapple taffy.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one got me, frankincense.
Uh-huh.
In coffee. Okay, yeah, let's definitely unpack how all these pieces fit together. Where should we start? The origin.
Yeah, let's start right at the source. The review points directly to Chococamondo's La Noria farm. Now, for anyone who follows specialty coffee, knowing the farm, not just say Peru or the region.
Right, this specific farm.
Exactly. That signals something special. It tells you traceability is key, the producer's identity is part of the story.
And it gets even more specific, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It mentions the variety. Entirely green geisha, the T.2722 strain. Why does that level of detail matter so much? Is one geisha different from another?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it like, grape varietals for wine. Geisha itself is famous in the coffee world, known for its potential for amazing aromatics, complex flavors, often sort of floral and tea-like notes.
Okay.
But this specific strain, T.2722, that suggests even finer detail. It has its own genetic fingerprint, contributing sensory characteristics you just won't find in, say, a standard Caturra or bourbon variety.
So you have this special plant, this specific geisha strain from an Ames farm. The next big step has to be how they handle the coffee cherries after picking, right? The processing. And the review calls it anaerobic natural. Okay, so for listeners, what does that actually mean? Fermenting without oxygen, then drying it in the fruit? How is that different from like a typical washed coffee?
Good question. So washed coffees have the fruit removed early on. Naturals are dried with the fruit on, but anaerobic natural adds another layer. They put the coffee cherries into sealed tanks without oxygen for a controlled fermentation period before drying them as a natural.
Okay. Controlled fermentation.
Exactly. The lack of oxygen changes the microbial activity. Producers use this to really push the boundaries, aiming for heightened fruitiness, maybe more complexity, sometimes these really surprising notes you wouldn't typically get. It gives them another lever to pull, basically, to influence the final flavor.
Influencing those notes like pineapple taffy and frankincense, perhaps?
Potentially, yeah. Those unusual notes often come from these kinds of controlled, sometimes experimental processes.
Okay, that makes sense. But, all that careful work on the farm and in processing, it could be lost if the roasting isn't right. The review mentions Paradise roasters. What's their role here?
A crucial one. The review notes two things. They focus on micro lots, and they craft roast only after someone places an order.
Micro lots. So small batches.
Tiny, often exceptional batches, like this one. It means selectivity. And